they were trying to dox me, they're trying to dox my husband, they're trying to dox my family.
So if it's voluntary, you can't abuse voluntary.
He kept asking if I would do favors for him.
He could top him, he could top you.
Caleb was allegedly known as Super Ho Diddly Ho.
Caleb was very consistent about making things uncomfortable.
They can't always speak up for themselves.
I know, but we actively talk them through, please.
He's a narcissist through and through.
Until he groped me.
To make me out to be like the bad guy, because that's like kind of his shtick.
Dude, he's like 14.
I'll show you everything.
But you could literally do nothing. You could literally just lay back and let him just touch you for the video.
He's 16.
That is the extent of the context.
Kind of knowingly, like, exploiting them, knowing that they're a fake.
Let's feel bad about yourself, right? Let's make you cry.
Going full clout.
He's already threatened legal action against me multiple
I
times.
don't want it to stream live because these people are paying to watch
Up with
it.
a million subscribers. It's absolutely, this is a wild number.
Caleb Hammer is a YouTube and TikTok creator with over 1 million followers who has made his mark on the internet with his ruthless financial audits.
Job is gonna look like literally 2 weeks from now. Literally 2 weeks from now. How is that okay? How are you okay with being essentially like a leech on society at that point? You can't take care of your own life. You start your checking accounts with nothing. Your mindset's so bad.
No.
What do you mean necessary? How's it necessary?
For my kids to have phones.
What do they need it?
Caleb is not a certified financial advisor or planner and does not have any background in finance beyond his own personal situation, and to his credit, he openly acknowledges this. However, he allegedly uses this questionably acquired position of power and influence to manipulate his financially vulnerable guests. Claims from former guests include unforeseen harassment from his audience, discomfort during the filming process, Caleb attempting to solicit them for OnlyFans content, sexual harassment, and sexual assault. Amongst these claims, there are new allegations involving inappropriate messages with minors, all while critics continue to call out their issues with the base ideology behind his content, his various money-making ventures, and the type of audience and conversation his channel openly invites. Caleb started posting on YouTube in 2022 and quickly found his niche making videos dedicated to, quote, financially auditing people. Before that, it seems like he was a composer and posted on a different account without much apparent success.
And to clarify, I personally define success based on far more than metrics and numbers on a screen, and I think this could have been a wonderfully enriching channel fueled by a passion for music had he stuck with it. But it's clear that Caleb defines success a bit differently, a bit more monetarily.
Financial Audit is a 1 to 2 hour long podcast style interview with someone, nearly always in a less than ideal bad financial situation, in which Caleb dissects and commentates on the guest's spending habits. His original episodes did a better job of conveying what looks like a more genuine character, somebody who wants to help and is earnest and compassionate in how he handles himself with people who are seeking his advice. However, that mask fell rather quickly. He rose quickly in popularity, but it was because of his increasingly abrasive, bullying, quote, shock value nature that really amped up over the last year. Many viewers were already starting to question his intentions and the basis of his content on his subreddit because of this shift, but he has since deleted and continues to delete all conversations surrounding it, especially since allegations of harassment and inappropriate messages with minors have come to light. To follow Caleb's lead and give an equally brutal review of his show, Financial Audit involves cherry-picking vulnerable guests that are in difficult financial and often life situations, getting access to all of their personal financial documents, and then shaming them on the internet for a primarily male audience to enjoy. His videos have resulted in the intense harassment of the guests who unknowingly stepped into this exploitative trap, and in my opinion, The episodes don't even really contain much truly helpful, actionable advice for these people when you really take into context the true nature of their situation and the backlash they will undoubtedly receive once they are purposely painted as a quote idiot on the internet. And sure, not everyone on his show has had an inherently bad experience, so Caleb and his fanbase swear by the effectiveness of their quote tough love and believe that his guests deserve to be yelled at and then subsequently harassed by commenters after the episode airs because they asked for it and they're quote being stupid with their money. The flippant misogyny and lack of empathy is quite easy to spot in his YouTube comments, particularly on episodes featuring younger women or people of color, and some guests have reported that they were also bombarded with these types of remarks in their personal DMs following the release of their episodes. The guest screenshots here highlight her general discomfort and confusion around Caleb's abrasiveness and how to react in the midst of filming the episode.
I accept that Caleb Hammer and all the creators who make misogynistic content are merely responding to the hunger of the masses for misogynistic content because they are misogynists.
A creator named Manifestel recently made an incredible video breaking down the misogyny and the factors that fuel it behind Caleb's content, and I highly encourage you to watch that if you're interested in understanding the root of that part of the controversy more. Caleb claims that although he is aware of the risk his guests face by coming on the show and that they may unknowingly experience potential downsides, the number of positive DMs and personal finance success stories he sees from fans outweigh the potential negative personal experience of any guest.
We actually are trying to help people. Now, a lot of people, they think it's like mostly to help the person right in front, but the way I have the conversation with them, like beforehand and afterwards, I'm like, okay, you're on here, you're putting your situation on display, and I'm gonna make sure the audience understands how bad this debt is, because thousands of people are gonna relate to that situation, and then they're gonna evolve their lives around it. And we've seen examples of endless emails and tweets and comments of people like, wow, I related to this person so much, and now I'm taking this action and stuff, so that's our intent. I know a lot of people think it's coming from a place of shaming, and I do understand it, especially if you're coming from like the TikTok side where, you know, playing the TikTok algorithm, we only post like the wild moments. There's going to be nasty people, and especially when a negative situation is put on display, that is going to encourage more nasty situations. But out of any amount of negative comments I've seen, because trust me, I hear about it when people have negative DMs, they email us. Trust me, we hear about it, and then we coach them through it when we can. But out of every impact it has, we see at least 2 times, 3 times, 4 times as many DMs, comments, and especially on any social platform, and then in our email inbox of like, I was in $40,000 of debt when I started watching your channel. I saw this episode, lit a fire under my butt, and now I'm in a place I never was before. So we know, at least from the statistical area of what DMs and emails are being sent, more on the back end.
I think that's what I mean by, I think you're exploiting those people then. You're saying we're sacrificing this one person, they're gonna get some shitty DMs. It happens to save these 100 people who are gonna get out of debt.
I would say a much larger percentage of your audience is doing that shit than other creators in your niche.
And we've been looking. Like, I'm just saying that is what the association looks like. You're growing because people are getting angry about the wrong things.
You only think of the negatives, to be clear, of what you talked about.
I know there's positives from some of it.
Of which outweigh.
No, like, I mean,
They do. Statistically, they do. In terms of the number of DMs that are sent, in terms of the emails that are received, in terms of this. And I see, trust me, if anyone receives negative DMs, they send it to me immediately.
As far as you know.
His editor, Brandon Gorey, has also argued that these guests essentially need to go through the hate mail and bullying if they want to have a financially stable future, although this is yet to be proven. His editor has also made a number of questionable statements regarding the voluntary nature of the guest participation.
Or imbalance that you know exists.
It's all voluntary though. There's no, you can't
That's what abusers say. They didn't have to be here. I'm not calling you.
No, they're requesting.
Your points, you should keep your mouth shut. You're putting your foot in your mouth.
They're requesting. So if it's voluntary, you can't abuse voluntary. They see everything. It's all translucent. So this is an
It
emotional
looks like
issue.
a bully online.
You guys must have liked yesterday's episode then, because that's what it was.
And I watched it, and it's
This is
still, I
emotional.
don't
This
like
is
your angle.
pathos. This is a pathos issue.
I'm allowed to be emotional about something, but also rational about something.
Yeah.
And I think I'm both emotional and rational.
Right. Well, may I pose a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. If someone's in $100,000 of debt and don't know how to get out of it, right? And they volunteer to come on a show where they know what the comments are on YouTube. We all know what the internet is. We all know how Caleb gets yelly. We all know how far Caleb can go. You know, do you think what's more positive? What's more positive? Him figuring out a way to get out of debt and living a better life, or getting a couple emails that aren't that great that you get over in about an hour? What's worse? The emails or a financially free life?
Oh no! I just think you gotta be a little bit more careful because it's a breeding ground for people who take some of this stuff way too literally and act on things like the comments that are so heavily misogynistic. You gotta think about the influence you have. I know you're growing quickly, and I know you're not a big corporation. I know you're just a fucking normal guy. I don't hate you.
Well, the influence we have,
But you're starting to have a lot of influence, and it's over people who are doing some pretty fucked up shit, and you don't want to associate with them.
Whose responsibility is
because
it?
I
If a grown
think
adult
you
is...
act in a way
No,
that
but if
really encourages that.
Caleb claims that in the past he has turned off the comment section on YouTube videos if, quote, the guests can't handle it. But in this same discussion, Caleb then touted that most of his guests are also fans of his.
Talking to them, I think it really invites in a lot of aggression and one-on-one aftermath that they're not protected from, and they are just some person that you just told the world doesn't have any resources to defend themselves. And I think it just inherently you're knowingly putting people in pretty shitty situations, and I think that's I think I do want to have a conversation around some deeper things like that.
It's a very interesting perspective. I will say, on our end, we have conversations with them first, letting them fully aware. You have to remember that 99% of people around the show are also from the audience.
They're subscribers.
So
sure.
most of your guests are fans?
Yeah.
By far. The early few were backstage because there's no fan base. Right? Yeah, there's no fan base to pull from. But after that, it's just people.
Yeah, I think that kind of leads me into some other questions that I have then too. Is kind of I just want to hear your perspective on. There's just so much conversation online right now with the Miranda saying shit. I'm sure you've seen that way over everything. Creator fan dynamics. I thought most of the guests on your show weren't fans, so it's. I love it. It's kind of makes it feel worse to me. You kind of knowingly have a power dynamic off there, a power imbalance off the bat. You're a creator. They're a fan of you. They're not going to say something against you. They're not going to say something. They're not going to go. They look up to you. You're a fan of you, and you're kind of knowingly exploiting them, knowing that they're a fan. That makes it worse to me, dog.
I'm curious why it's exploitation though.
It's an hour podcast where you tell the world this person has a lot of debt, and you berate them, and then don't protect them in the aftermath.
I was going to say, this conversation is had in the comments section of every one of our videos.
So I guess my question is, why is it their responsibility to anticipate this potentially horrendous backlash and personal attacks, and then subsequently voice their discomfort and make a difficult request to the person they're a fan of? They would rather not disappoint you. Why would the creator himself bear no responsibility for being even slightly mindful of this power dynamic at play? And on TikTok, it's even more evident that Caleb's content tends to appeal to a slew of unsavory characters. There are plenty of comments exuding similar misogynistic sentiments or thanking Caleb for showing them someone worse off than them because it makes them feel better. And let's just be real. When it comes to content, all Caleb does is shill for capitalism because he benefits from it. He loves it so much, and he wants his audience to love it too. And by showing people suffering in dramatically worse positions than them on a regular basis, they may really start to feel better about their own, likely stressful and also not too great situation.
But should they? Should they feel personally responsible for these intended effects of a system set up to never let them reach the top unless they put their head down and do as they're told at the expense of their sanity, or exploit others, or lick the boss's boots? I mean, who really benefits from the message that Caleb perpetuates? I don't know, kind of giving Fed flags. Just one little nugget to ponder here.
But there's also a large number of comments containing dog whistles used by those associated with the alt-right to insinuate racist and anti-Semitic remarks. At the very least, it is absolutely Caleb's responsibility to at least try to moderate his comment sections or try to stay on top of this kind of harassment towards his guests. And in my opinion, Caleb should be doing far more to ensure that these hateful commenters don't feel empowered to make these statements based on his perceived lack of empathy, his shame tactics, and his crude portrayal of the guests. Right now, Caleb appears to be incredibly complicit in that matter, and quite frankly, totally fine with it, which is precisely the problem. Why doesn't he view that as a legitimate problem? And while it's true that you cannot control the actions of others, I do think it's your responsibility as a content creator with a platform to be mindful of the content you make and who it's attracting. If bad people feel empowered to say really hateful things on your content about the guests that you expose to them, and you're not doing anything to remedy it or look inwards at your own contribution to it, then like I said, you are absolutely complicit. Between July 2nd and 6th, 2023, information began coming out about Caleb sending a voice message to a former guest of the show, which documents him asking that guest to do OnlyFans with a, quote, friend of his, very explicitly.
The main reason I haven't wanted to have this conversation via text is... Sorry, I had to burp. One, I'm not used to OnlyFans, straight up. It's not really my scene. I'm a personal finance dude. I don't really know anything about that. Two, I'm straight. I'm like 90% straight. I've definitely fooled around because I'm open-minded. And when you get drunk, whatever. But, and this is like a man-on-man thing. But essentially, I think, from the conversation I had with him, the pay will be dependent on what you're willing to do, and what you're willing to do is set by you. So what he would like to do, you guys make out. He would like to do that. What he would like you guys to do, him fill you up. He would like to do that. You can say no about any of these. He would like to play with your dick. And see, that's why I didn't want to type this out either, because that's like weird for me to say. I don't, it's not like we're friends or anything, but that's what he wants to do. He wants to give you a blowjob. I was also told and confirmed with him that your face would be hidden, blurred out and hidden. Your identity would be hidden. And then if you wanted to give a blowjob, you could. Again, you would make more from that. And, he would eat your butt. And you would make more for that. You can say no as well. You could top him, he could top you. Whatever you're willing to do comes with more money, but you could literally do nothing. You could literally just lay back and let him just touch you for the video. And I guess for some reason his subscribers love that, and you'd get paid for it. So really that's what it is. And, there's things that I think I don't feel comfortable talking about in this kind of situation, and I'd be happier to talk over in person. Maybe I'm just that kind of person. So you just let me know what you think.
All of that discourse was deleted from his subreddit to stop any further discussion and stop people from asking about the objectively disturbing and verifiably documented claims. Zeke, who was only 19 at the time, claims that Caleb coerced and pressured him into sexual conversations and subsequently assaulted him after multiple attempts to communicate his discomfort. He claims that after the assault, Caleb made him sign an NDA and then went on to gaslight him and his audience about the experience for weeks to come.
Could you tell me about what happened after your experience on Caleb Hammer's show, Financial Audit?
So right after we got done filming, his friend left, he sat me down on his couch in the living room, and he asked me if I wanted to do another show, another production. I was like, yeah, cool. And then he just quickly, like, after 2 minutes of talking, ended that conversation. And for about like 5-10 minutes, it felt like forever, he kept asking if I like would do sexual favors for him, basically. What it felt like was him trying to say, oh, it's for OnlyFans, because he was recording it. He wanted to record it, but it really just felt like he wanted to have sex with me. Like, it really was just like very uncomfortable.
Zeke has also made the claim that Caleb inappropriately touched him after the filming of their second episode together. You're claiming he actually touched you inappropriately as well?
Yeah, he did. He locked me in his house after the second filming. When his friend who helps him film, he left, I was locked in his house, and he sat me down on his couch in the living room, and he was trying, like, the reason why I was on those shows so many times is because I was looking for opportunity, and he kept promising opportunity aside from the OnlyFans stuff, but he was really trying to lure me in with that. He was breadcrumbing me. And so the second time we filmed, I was on the couch, and he would not let me leave. He would not pay me what I was owed for that filming, and essentially he didn't give me the money until he groped me. And I needed that money to go home, because he knew all my personal finances. He knew how much money I had. I had no money when I showed up. I had zero money because I had spent it on gas to get to Austin. He knew that.
Okay. How much did he claim he was going to be giving you?
Thousands.
And how much
the
did you?
The contract was thousands of dollars, and he only paid me less than $200 for filming.
He has detailed his experience with receipts across social media in an attempt to get people to hear his story, but his unfiltered demeanor has been twisted against him to paint him as a, quote, crazy person with no basis for his claims. This has been met with intense harassment from Caleb's fans and an overall warped narrative about Zeke being an unreliable source that's, quote, clout chasing? Caleb and his fans' deflection of Zeke's allegations have been based on the fact that, quote, Zeke threatened Caleb's life and doxed him. Zeke has acknowledged that he was overcome with emotion, frustration, and the lack of accountability taken from Caleb. He also says that those statements, which he himself has already posted and addressed, were a reflection of his own declining mental state due to the severity of his experience and were not legitimately violent threats. No one condones the behavior or words exhibited in those instances, even Zeke himself. And yet, it continues to be used as, in my opinion, an illegitimate reason to disregard everything else Zeke has detailed and shown evidence of leading up to that moment. At the end of the day, there is no perfect victim, and the internet's treatment of Zeke has been incredibly telling. And Zeke wasn't the only former guest who was offered OnlyFans by Caleb. A video was posted on July 5th, 2023, with evidence from a different guest of his show saying he proposed OnlyFans to her as well. This video also calls out the fundamental issues with his content and the type of audience invites. It was created and posted with zero knowledge of the actively unfolding situation regarding Zeke. This video, although created, like we said, with no knowledge of Zeke's allegations, kicked off a lockdown on Caleb Hammer's subreddit. Every time the video was posted, it was removed, and anyone who asked about the situation got banned or had their comment or post deleted. After this happened, Caleb, who is also the moderator of his own subreddit, posted twice. Once asking for opinions on if it's, quote, creepy to offer OnlyFans to his former guests, and another to, quote, thank everyone for their responses, despite deleting and deflecting everyone's very real criticism and evidence. Hi. While I was editing this video on March 31st, 2024, I actually received another new tip regarding Caleb's OnlyFans offers. This person, who wishes to remain anonymous in relation to this whistleblowing, ended up not doing their planned episode of Financial Audit due to their discomfort with Caleb's OnlyFans offer, and she told him that outright, as we can see in these messages from August 12th, 2022. She even says, I really hope you don't act that way with other women in the future, because it just seems like you were okay with inviting me because I did OnlyFans and you thought I'd make content with you. When we compare that to his surprise by the general reaction to this information coming to light at the time of his Reddit post in July 2023, it becomes abundantly clear that his naivete towards the appropriateness of these offers and OnlyFans as a whole was a strategic tactic rather than any indication of any sort of truth, in my opinion. What I find especially interesting is the voice memos included in the messages, which not only aided in verifying the validity and follows the pattern of other accusers' evidence, but it also helped us identify some additional conflicting information coming from Caleb himself.
Well, you're killing it either way. I'm kind of jealous. That beats my Patreon by far. I honestly, this is so silly, and I would never announce this out loud to the world, but I considered, like, what would it be like if I started one, just because, I don't know, I find that stuff kind of fun. You know, once I was like 100,000 subscribers, because that would pay for things, but I don't know. One, I'm not hot, so I don't think a lot of people would sign up. And two, I think that would, financial, and then OnlyFans, I don't know if they mesh together for, one person. But again, if you ever have a trial, I don't know, I have a hard time dropping money on this kind of stuff, but if you ever have a trial, let me know. Oh my god, so stupid. There's definitely like 50,000 questions I want to ask right now that I should not ask right now. Well, I mean, honestly, they're pretty freaking inappropriate, and I don't know. I feel like the risk probably isn't worth it because so many people just get like in trouble, and I don't want that. I should probably just be 100% professional, right? You tell me. Like, there's this dude, he worked for Rooster Teeth and Achievement Hunter, big YouTube channels. His name is Ryan Haywood, and he did some bad stuff. Now, this isn't even close to what was in my head, but he actually slept with fans, and he traded stuff back and forth, and he was hitting on a ton of people. But I think the worst part of it was a couple of them seemed like they were underage, and he also just did some grooming stuff, which was really bad. Now, of course, this is nothing even close to anything that I'm even talking about. But the fact that I witnessed that in real time, like a year and a half ago, now that my channel's taken off, it just puts an extra level of fear in every conversation that I have with anyone online now, because, one misstep and then boom, canceled.
He has, quote, considered starting an OnlyFans because he finds that stuff kind of fun. He's aware that his financial content and OnlyFans do not mesh, and it's not a good idea to combine the two. And he references this situation with Ryan Haywood as a worry of his now that his channel has, quote, taken off. But then he goes on to assure her that what he's doing is nothing like that. But he's still worried? Why would you be so worried about something similar happening to you if you aren't doing something, I don't know, kinda similar? Just food for thought. Okay, back to the story. On July 5th, 2023, a subreddit called r/creepycalebhammer was created, and people who had been banned from his space started to gather there to discuss the situation. The very next day, on July 6th, Caleb Hammer contacted the creator of this video, asking him to meet up and, quote, clear his name, despite him having around 100 subscribers at the time. And for reference, Caleb had around 500,000. But he seemed awfully concerned with containing some story, and Dante seemed to have struck a nerve. Dante proposed an interview at a neutral location, despite Caleb's attempt to have him travel to his studio to record it himself and, in Dante's opinion, try to control the narrative further. Upon arriving to the interview, Caleb and his editor Brandon refused to roll the cameras, were really insistent that all recording devices were off, and instead opted to read through the interview questions and just kinda deflect personal involvement and blame. But given that Texas is a one-party consent state when it comes to recording, yeah, we have a secret recording. At the time, we still really wanted to think the best of him. We were giving him all benefit of the doubt. We wanted to believe the things he was telling us. We thought we'd never have to do anything with the secret recording. By the end of the conversation, Caleb did agree to remove part of his video per our criticism surrounding his exploitation of guests. It's a clip where he suspects a guest could be pre-diabetic and literally tests their blood sugar mid-episode. I don't think I need to explain why that's just kind of icky. Caleb also said he would likely be willing to meet up in a couple weeks from the original meeting on July 6th for a recorded interview, or for us to shadow his show. Dante followed up on this offer, and unsurprisingly, we've not received a response from Caleb since. Conversation around Caleb was minimal during that time period from July 2023 up until September 2023. It was at that time that Dante again began posting about Caleb Hammer and his lack of accountability on the very real issues that we discussed with him in person. This was immediately met with intense harassment from Caleb's fans, or bots, whatever they are. But unsurprisingly, given that Caleb has sanitized his subreddit at this point and all of his socials to avoid any more inquiries or discussion from fans or critics, anything within his highly moderated echo chamber. This is also when it became really clear that anyone who talked about Caleb would really suspiciously be hit with a bunch of fans commenting vaguely similar things. Dante's initial TikTok in September, in reference here, quickly garnered over 100,000 views before it was allegedly mass reported and removed the same day it was posted. On September 15th, 2023, HGHH Media and Dante sent a final email to Caleb Hammer and team with the original interview questions and one final request for comment. They informed him of the recording that they had of their previous meeting and that it would be cited in this article published on their website. This article, published September 16th, 2023, details all of the previously discussed controversies along with an additional allegation surrounding a potential secret stream, private Discord, and a suspicious $700 consultation. When asked about this Discord during their in-person meeting, Caleb told us that he, quote, doesn't do the Discord. That was about all he had to say. Caleb also claims that his mentorship sessions are no longer able to be purchased and that he has refunded anyone who tried to book a session, allegedly. When interviewing Zeke, he also shed some light on these allegations.
During one of our conversations, you mentioned that Caleb was on Discord before one of your shoots. Could you explain that a little bit?
My understanding is that people privately pay to watch the interviews live. That's what he said. I vlog and stream, and I asked if I can stream it, and he just said, no, people are paying to watch this. I can send you footage of him saying people are paying to watch this live.
I want to stream on Twitch and stuff. You want to stream?
Twitch is great.
I don't have any followers. That's the thing.
I don't want it to stream live because these people are paying to watch it.
Okay. Oh, on Discord?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's cool. Okay, let's just record then.
So I think it's worth looking into further. At a minimum, not feeling great about it. Over the next few months, the Creepy Caleb Hammer subreddit that was created back in July gained traction as more and more people found it, from being banned from his official one or from seeing TikToks. So let's just go through a summary of key moments discussed in this community from about fall 2023 leading up to the new allegations that emerged from Scott Schaefer's video in March 2024. A consistent topic of discussion has always been his thumbnails and titles. While some find it easy to brush off as merely comedy or just some dumb clickbait, a lot of people have expressed very real concerns with the ableism, misogyny, and racism, frankly, displayed in some of these thumbnails. Caleb has also tried saying that it's okay because he gets guest approval, but as you can see in this interview with a former guest named Gia from Scott Schaefer's video, she didn't seem to know about it.
Now, Caleb has claimed on many occasions that guests on the show get a say on the thumbnail design and titles of their videos, and that he would never create those over-the-top designs unless the guest was okay with it. But after speaking to a former guest of the show, Gia, she said something entirely different. Caleb put her in a jail outfit in the thumbnail, wrote scum on her chest, and titled the video that she deserves jail. Gia claims she never agreed to that and was very disappointed how she was portrayed on the episode, claiming the bad parts were hyped up, which led to Caleb's fans attempting to dox her and ruin her life.
Like, we did the episode, they told me to hype up my bad parts, and so, like, to make me out to be, like, the bad guy, because that's, like, kind of his shtick. And so that video ended up being really, really, really bad, to the point where they were trying to dox me, they're trying to dox my husband, they're trying to dox my family.
That was
like
people who watched the episode?
Caleb himself.
Yeah, people who watched
what?
People who watched the episode were trying to dox you?
Just his audience.
And one thing I want to ask is about the thumbnail of your video. It's you in a jumpsuit, and the title is "You Should Be in Jail," and it has scum written on your chest. Did you approve that thumbnail? You did not approve it.
No.
Hey guys, it's me editing again. It is now April 6th, 2024, and there was actually another guest from his most recent episode who confirmed they also had no say in the thumbnail and did not approve it. So, I don't know, man. It's pretty weird that all these people feel duped by Caleb, but still he continues to push back, you know? Like, what do I know? What do I know? I'm just a silly animated character. Okay, back to the story again. There was obviously a lot of discussion around who had been banned from the main sub and why. A lot of discussion around cognitive dissonance and the cult mentality they were seeing on display by Caleb Hammer's fans. There was also a lot of chatter about Caleb's various money-making schemes and his questionable brand deals. One of these being his financial course. I think Chris Norlund also did a great job here of explaining why this was just kind of off-putting. Not a great look.
What I really dislike about it is that you're picking on the weakest people out there in the world, and you're kind of teaching them, like, say, hey, you know, let's make fun of other people like you. Let's feel bad about yourself, right? Let's make you cry. And moreover, please give me money to keep doing it. If you really did care about these people, you would put out all of this content for free on YouTube. I mean, this is what you do. It's like, why? I guess the problem I have with this stuff is, like, why paywall more videos when you already have a video platform to do it? And the answer is greed.
Throughout this period, Caleb also started putting out new podcasts and vlogs, and so that was obviously also a topic of discussion. There were a lot of really weird telling moments within those.
So what do I think of Tucker Carlson interviewing Putin? I think it's interesting. I think that Putin got elected for a reason.
As far as I know, the podcast has since been canceled and converted into what appears to be an AI channel, I think.
Boeing, a name synonymous with the aviation industry, has built its legacy on the principles of innovation and pioneering new frontiers.
And I don't think we've seen a new vlog in a while either since Dante made this video.
So what are we gonna watch today? We are gonna watch Caleb Hammer's editor, Brandon Gorey, do a few weird things. The first of which is on their podcast, which is now canceled. I'm gonna choose to believe that I may have been partially responsible. So Brandon's gonna do Russian propaganda, and then Brandon's gonna do something even worse than that.
If you ask for the Hitler Youth.
Ah!
It's the Nazi. Can I get the Einsatzgruppen?
Okay, it's just a joke. Don't freak out, Dante. It's just a joke. It's just a joke.
I think that Putin got elected for a reason.
The pronunciation there wasn't really good. It's just a joke.
Can I get the Einsatzgruppen?
Say it again, it's just a joke.
Stalin? Stop Stalin and be my Valentine.
Bin Laden?
That's fun.
Okay, somebody referenced Joseph Stalin. Brandon is now playing a game. It's just a game he's playing with himself. Brandon's the only one who knows about it, and it's all in Brandon's head. And the game is called Try Not to Tell Anybody That Stalin Was Worse Than Hitler. In case you don't know, this is the most difficult game for Brandon and people like him. The difficulty level is set up to 25,000. They're trying so hard to bite their tongue because they know that, you know, when you get in public and you say this kind of stuff, normal people are gonna be like, what are you talking about, brother? Let's see if he says it.
Yo, Stalin killed so many more people than Hitler. Mao Zedong, 100 million.
Okay, so he did it.
And like Hitler pales in comparison.
Right.
Hugo Boss.
Yeah. They looked good as they were committing mass genocide.
Yeah.
Maybe we gotta cut all this out.
Well, I believe, I could be totally wrong, but the Dassler brothers, Adi Dassler.
And if you look at the other editor that works with Brandon, he looks petrified right now because what Brandon just said is a fucking crazy thing to say.
We also had a nice little giggle when Caleb called Dante a creepy stalker. This was as a result of Dante messaging Caleb's new employee because, as you saw in those vlog and podcast clips, we had quite a few concerns and were genuinely worried about the guy. C'est la vie. There was also this anonymous note. It appears like this anonymous poster first went to the moderator of this subreddit who posted the note anonymously. However, they then went on to contact others like Dante. So while they want to remain anonymous, the validity of these claims has been verified by a couple different sources now. We still say allegedly because we always say allegedly. But allegedly, this is pretty weird. Caleb also put out this merch, which was really, really odd given the allegations against him. And of course, everyone was always keeping track of Caleb's erratic deflection online. By this point, he'd proven that, in our opinion, he might be the unreliable narrator that we might want some receipts for. And then, Scott Schaer enters. Caleb reacted immediately when Scott first made mention of his interest in Caleb publicly, in an attempt to get him not to try to cover the story. But unfortunately for Caleb, this only piqued Scott's interest further. Scott also interviewed Zeke, that first accuser, and another former guest of the show, Gia. Zeke detailed his allegations, which we already covered in this video earlier, and the other guest, Gia, like I mentioned as well, detailed how she was blindsided by how she was portrayed in the thumbnail without her permission, and the harassment from his fans that ensued as a result of her portrayal on the show. Scott also includes an interview with a whistleblower who shared screenshots of a group message intended for networking in the music industry. These have been verified to be legitimate and contain messages from Caleb Hammer. In these messages, Caleb, or as he's known in these, Super Ho Diddly Ho, says a number of inappropriate things about minors and what he would like to do with them.
The topics that he felt were inappropriate are what we're going to be focusing on. The first one that made several people uncomfortable was Caleb's comments about finding a 16-year-old boy hot. Now, in this chat group, everyone has nicknames instead of their actual name being used. I was told that Caleb picked many of these nicknames, but a few were picked by other members. Caleb was allegedly known as Super Ho Diddly Ho. So the user known as Has Sex All the Time says, "What's this hit beat you got playing?" Super Ho responds with, "Smoking is gross." Uncut responds with, "So is saying that 15-year-old boys are hot." Dancing says, "Oh damn." Super Ho responds with, "16." Uncut says, "Doesn't make your case any better." Super Ho responds with, "Haha, thinking from a picture is cute isn't bad. I don't think the person was cut because they are young. He had facial hair. Like, come on." Uncut says, "Why screenshot?" because Super Ho had taken a picture of this guy's Snapchat of his 16-year-old friend. And Super Ho says, "He hot, is gay, please." Uncut says, "He's 16 and no, effing perv." Super Ho responds with, "Shame." Uncut says, "What was the age of consent in Michigan?" Super Ho says 16. Uncut says Texas is 17. And Super Ho says shame. This is the message I sent to Caleb to confirm if they were real, which is when he replied that they were very out of context. I asked the informant if there was more context to this story, which he replied that there wasn't. To give a little bit more context, I reached out to Caleb for comment on this. He said this was taken very out of context, didn't give me any other info around that. So just anything you know around this particular incident.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that he'd say that, particularly because I'm not sure there's any more context out of which it could be taken. That is the extent of the context surrounding this, was that the friend with the nickname Uncut posted this picture of his friend who was 16 years old, was posting him as a part of posting. He posted the photo to congratulate him and to express gratitude for him. And that's, I mean, that's it. That's the context. And then Caleb saw his story on Snapchat and took that screenshot. And it was at that point that Uncut questioned it, and the rest of it takes place here in this group chat. There's no other context out of which it could have been taken.
Now, I do have to say, since Caleb has threatened to sue me, that 16-year-olds are actually at the legal age of consent in some states, including Caleb's home state of Michigan, so maybe he doesn't think anything is wrong with saying a 16-year-old boy is hot.
These actions are not only just unacceptable, but also really indicative of a pattern of behavior that has the potential to pose a significant risk to those around him, including his guests and employees. But, as expected, Caleb didn't address the allegations beyond that same kind of initial deflection. He did, however, say he was, quote, taking a break from Reddit. But Around that same time, it was also discovered that he made his own snark subreddit that he personally is listed as the sole moderator of. This is assumingly in an attempt to divert traffic from Creepy Caleb Hammer, where all of the receipts and details about his various controversies were. Can't let those pesky fallen fans find camaraderie anywhere else. That'd be disastrous. Or perhaps it's much more disastrous to be caught red-handed attempting to astroturf your own mild snark community because you couldn't handle the heat from valid criticism. I mentioned botting earlier, and around this time there was also a strange occurrence on the TikTok accounts containing most of the videos about the situation leading up to it. That's my account and Dante's account. All of our recent videos about the situation, especially ones that were naturally gaining traction, were spammed with fake likes and views in what appeared to be an attempt to get our accounts banned for spam activity. If we're being honest, this really only made us commit to the bit on Reddit a little bit harder, so yeah. The community of Caleb Hammer critics and Fallen fans continues to now grow every day, and although the situations and allegations themselves are extremely dark, we try to at least laugh through the pain and hope that the Creepy Caleb Hammer Department of Defense will one day be able to retire from existence when accountability is truly taken. But for now, all in all, the Caleb Hammer controversy as a whole raises a number of important points about, one, the difficulty of whistleblowing when there's a clear incentive to discredit anyone speaking up, and similarly, the power of a community coming together to stand up to predatory behavior to help stop these cycles of abuse. The bots and those that believe the narratives painted by them can all come together to harass, but people who don't like predators can also come together. You can see how it would be easy to get discouraged and give up on getting a story out if you're bombarded with baseless hate simply for daring to speak. It nearly happened multiple times throughout the course of the last year to me. But thankfully, it appears that the story is now gaining more traction, especially through Scott's recent video, and we also know that there is an article coming soon. I really don't have any idea on the timeline there. But we've been talking with and keeping in contact with a really amazing journalist who has written about Caleb before, actually, and we've been able to get her in contact with anyone who's come forward to us with accusations. So while I'm always going to say allegedly and call them allegations to cover my own, just know that anything presented in this video has gone through multiple different layers, and I made a whole video talking about it today because I think it's really, really important that people listen. I hope that between the media that I referenced and will link below and this video that you just watched, more people will be able to understand the timeline and the nuances, as well as better conceptualize why this is such an important issue to address within the YouTube community. Stay safe out there and stop being a creep online if you don't want to be called a creep online.
Yeah! Woo! Hey guys, Dante here. Wow. Can't believe you made it all the way to the end. That's crazy. But now, the cool part about this is that now you get to enjoy all of these incredible behind-the-scenes moments and underappreciated works of art. So, hope you have fun with the rest of the video, because we're having fun with the rest of the video. And at this point, I think that I'm personally just tap dancing on Caleb Hammer's internet grave. So. Yeah, enjoy this. Enjoy this. So yeah, just go ahead and feel free to enjoy all this. Yeah! Woo!
Today is Thursday, July 6th. We interviewed Caleb Hammer tonight. We don't have video of it because he requested the video be off. That's a whole other story. Anyway, I'm here to tell you that after tonight, I don't hate Caleb Hammer. I hate his editor.
Brandon, or whatever your name is. You're
Brandon
Caleb's
Dory.
editor.
We
Brandon.
know. You hated me the most, Brandon.
Stop
who would
commenting
be
on our
so
shit.
personally offended?
You are so annoying. Stop.
Stop. We know it's you.
Or do it with your, like, on your real profile.
Yeah. You could come talk shit, but just like do it on your profile. Everyone knows who I am. You're talking shit. You're a trillionaire? Okay, if you're a trillionaire, I have a lot of questions then. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Because I think you're behind the weird OnlyFans shit then.
I love my haters as much as anyone else, but at a certain point, you just gotta give them a forced break. Sorry I ruined your city. Austin, Texas was a fucking utopia before I showed up. My bad, dog.
You gotta make sure you don't throw up by eating too much. No, thank you. You wait, Miss Eve.
Hi, Caleb.
Well, that's where we're setting up some. What's going on?
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
kind of a
recording?
janky setup, but it's not recording.
So camera, no, it's on plug.
Humor is subjective, so like I might
Making fun of.
It's like
I
punching.
might,
It is. It's all punching. That's why it really
Sure.
sits wrong with
I get
me.
it. I get it. But some people might find something funny that you don't, and that's
What kind of people find it funny?
Hey, dude, I don't know.
You said you know your audience. Who's your audience?
I know the demographics of my audience.
What is it?
In terms of age range?
What's the male-female ratio
For
first?
all finance content, it's about 80% male to 20% female, and that's across all channels, positive or
Mhm.
negative.
What's yours?
Look at you. We gotta make sure you don't eat so quick. Cause then you'll throw up. You already got some. You already stole from this bucket. You little bucket stealer.
Hey guys, we're just gonna watch Caleb Hammer check this guy for diabetes. He's got the blood pressure. Were you taking his blood
He
pressure
doesn't even know
too?
what he's looking for. This is dumb. I can't do this anymore.
No. Oh, yes. And there you go. Oh, sweet girl. Such a sweet girl.
We have some new theories.
Well, Caleb is a Redditor.
Yeah,
Caleb
Caleb is
still
a
a
Redditor.
Redditor,
It's
and he's
whatever.
cringe, but I
but
wouldn't make fun
I
of
will
him for
say,
being
I
cringe.
will go on record and say that I don't hate him. I actually don't hate him now. I think I hated his content so deeply, and I expressed to him exactly why, and he was very receptive to it. And honest to God, I just want to influence his content to be more positive.
If a YouTuber with 100 subscribers made a pretty milquetoast video with like some mild criticism, why would you ever like beg to meet up with them to clear your name? Your name wasn't tainted. I didn't have a platform. I still don't have a platform. This is Caleb's narcissism showing, right? Because he's a narcissist. Caleb, if you can't take the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen, buddy. Maybe this content shit just is not for you, dude. Caleb, I don't like repeating myself. I thought we had this conversation. Like, what is this? Her baby daddy didn't let her take birth control? Why is that the clickbait? Hey, this is just the same thing as those, like, Ben Shapiro Feminist Gets Owned compilations from, like, 2016 or whatever, right? Like,
Yeah, same energy. Guys, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is someone who has probably commented 40 times on the Caleb Hammer videos, fighting me. They have a personal vendetta against me. I have a tear in my eye because my eyes dry because there's allergies. Honestly, thank you. These have made me laugh like to the point of tears.
Content creator at YouTube and TikTok. I would get rid of that. I don't know if I'd lead in with the content creator aspect.
I didn't want to push it, but.
Graham,
Hey.
that's what we're saying. Why are you using your content creator status to try to get dates? As you're even doing it on your Hinge profile.
You need a better photo than that.
Yeah. Graham is just reading him to filth right now. Graham, can I shake your hand right now? Thank
Graham,
you.
good job, buddy.
Thank you. This is the equivalent of Roger doubling down and continuing to go live because he's like, no, I know I'm right. I know I'm right. They're crazy. They're wrong. I'm gonna show them I'm gonna keep going live. I'm gonna show them.
Right.
And then they just self-report.
we didn't even have to find. He just posted it for us.
He
to
just
look at.
posted his
Crazy.
Hinge thing. And it's so... Okay, anyway.
What brings you on here? What do you mean what brings you on here? She's
I don't know.
single.
But
How is she? She's single. What brings you on here? That's
maybe
a dumb...
she's not.
Oh, I'm bored of TikTok. She wants to meet someone. Like,
Yeah, but
that's
you
a
don't know
lame...
if she's
that's a
diddling or
lame-
dating.
Self-report.
Police.
Come out with your hands up. You have the right to remain silent.
Person
You see
seeing
that?
Dining room camera.
Oh my God! Let's go! Woo! Woo! Yes! Yes! He fucking did it!
He self-reported his hidden dining room camera that Zeke claims is maybe there. Fuck you, Caleb!
If there are no Caleb Hammer fans, then I am dead. And as self-proclaimed biggest fan of Caleb Hammer, I am a frequenter of his subreddit, even though I am banned and I cannot post or interact with the posts.
There's a couple things here, a couple thoughts that I have. Number one, I know that his favorite food is Culver's, and I'm at Culver's. I know, Caleb, you see a concrete mixer, that shit is going down your throat.
What?
Hammer, music for media. It's his orchestra though. He's not gonna sing because he's not Roger, but he is doing the song Creep. That is Creep by Radiohead, the one that's like, I'm a creep.
Houses have been bought, torn down, built up new. Now they're starting to do the outer ring. I bought just...
So, gentrification. Keep Austin weird, am I right?
Yeah, he's back at it again. You know, trying to get dates through Instagram. If you're in the Austin area and you want to be my date for an event I'm required to go to, reach out, making it sound all professional and stuff, but really, he just didn't really shave. And my favorite part is he doesn't even own up to it. He says, "This was my friend Kimmy's idea, by the way." Really had to hammer that one home. Can't even own up to it, Caleb.
Are you gonna come clean yet?
That's what I'm saying. Thank you.
Research it says that new houses are more likely
I
to have
live in a new
scorpions.
house. I have not seen a single scorpion.
Bro, she's talking about having to call pest control for scorpions, and he goes, well, actually, I have a new house, and I've never seen a scorpion, and I live near you. I live in Texas.
The Caleb Hammer Boogie crossover is one I never knew I needed. On the right, we've got Boogie, the old guy with a 20-year-old girlfriend, and he says it's not weird, and she says it's not weird, but everybody knows it's weird. And on the left, we've got Caleb Hammer. Did you guys know that Caleb Hammer started a vlog channel? Hey, it's me. It's 5 minutes later. What is that, Caleb? What is that? What is that on the whiteboard? After everything we've been through, why is that on the whiteboard? And why are you making that face? You're like running a company. You have 6 employees or whatever. You can't... I don't care how comfortable they say they are. Someone might not be. You can't put that on the wall. It's a workplace, Caleb! Caleb Hammer recently reached 1 million subscribers, and it seems like he's been really trying to up his game. Buddy. Congrats, Caleb. He's been doing vlogs and podcasts and stuff, and it was weird. The podcast didn't upload last week, and I was pretty disappointed.
I didn't see the vlog today either. I don't know.
Huh.
Why are you spending on a car?
Did you respond to the journalist that reached out to you, Caleb? I don't know, did you?
Is the article going to say Caleb did not respond to requests for comment?
I don't know, probably.
Anyone yelling at me in my comments is talking to the void right now. Guys, I'm animating a guitar on a very dirty computer screen. I'm very busy.
He's gonna go to the local cafe and maybe finish some
my
work
for the day. It's 3
Yeah.
p.m. I'm gonna finish up my work.
What are you gonna be working on, Nicole?
Spreadsheets, and I'm gonna do some VLOOKUPs.
Tell the truth.
I'm gonna do VLOOKUPs on Caleb Hammer's family tree.
Caleb Hammer, Caleb Hammer, Caleb Hammer, Caleb Hammer, Caleb Hammer controversy, Caleb Hammer financial audit, Caleb Hammer allegations. What did Caleb Hammer do? Caleb Hammer, Caleb Hammer, Caleb Hammer. So this was all just for SEO. So when somebody types in Caleb Hammer into TikTok, TikTok will pick up on the words in this video, and then they will find this video, and then they'll click on the comment, and then, you know.
Hey TikTok, I really need your help. Get this email to Caleb Hammer.
Every single comment I'm getting is just from a Caleb bot who's just repeating the exact 3 same talking points, and every single time someone with this is a person's account with his face on it, every single time somebody basically agrees with this, the only people who are saying the opposite of this and saying that, you know, we shouldn't listen to Zeke are people who are definitely just like being told certain talking points by a certain someone or something, right? They're all like saying the exact same stuff. And then now I'm just getting to the point where it's just fun to block people because then you block them and then they show back up and are like, why'd you block me? And it's like, well, why'd you make a new account and come back? You're calling me crazy. It's like, why are you making new accounts and you just keep commenting on my stuff? It's awesome. Clout chasing commences in 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. Boop.
1.
Yay!
I clowned a predator off this app when I had about 30 followers. That's what I started at. And I say this today not to brag, although I am a marketing genius. I say this to remind the class today that it's never been about followers, and Caleb showing all his cards by thinking that taking down our main TikTok accounts is gonna do something. Caleb, I was doing this shit when I had 2 followers. I don't care.
Caleb subreddited you.
Caleb subtweeted me on Reddit, which is awesome. He posted on Reddit. This is him. He loves Reddit. It's got 569 upvotes. Creepy Stalkers Online is the title.
That's you. Hey, that's you.
And we don't know that yet.
So my arch nemesis, Caleb Hammer, has a new merch line. It's called the Dirty Money line. It's pretty weird given all of the allegations against him. It's just so weird, you know, he's so horny. Caleb is so diabolically horny all the time. And this shirt is like, yeah, I'm a slut for index funds, bro. Come on, you can't give me this good of content and expect me to not do something with it. This is free. Caleb is doing this. He's letting me do this for free. And Caleb, I thank you every day. You got me. He's living rent free in my head, just like the tenants in his college townhouse that he said that haven't paid rent. He has to go through an eviction process. So he's living rent free in my head, but he's got people living rent free in real life properties.
For real rent free.
Remember your landlord in college and how everyone just complained about them all the time because they were just they didn't live in the town and they never fixed anything and your house was just literally falling apart because there's rats and roaches and I don't know, that your roommate definitely just put cigarette butts out on the couch and stuff, but it was fine because your landlord was so bad that nothing was ever gonna get fixed because it wasn't worth it because you were paying $250 a month for half of a bedroom in the worst part of town. So me too. And did you know that there is this YouTuber named Caleb Hammer?
Literally take away the set, take away
the fame,
the ad revenue, take
fortunes,
away anything that has just come from this crazy journey. This is what it's about. It's incredible. I'm beyond thankful for everyone who's put their situation on display to help people like this. It's the most rewarding.
So the thing that's really cool about this app is if you talk about someone doing that, you actually just get removed for that thing. Because they can just, people can just mass report whatever they want. It's stupid. This app sucks. Honestly, ban it. I don't care. I'm already on LinkedIn. Find Victor Volcano on LinkedIn.
In the Caleb Hammer subreddit, I guess my sister decided to comment on it. Let's see what she said. So here's my sister. She's Jumpy Ladder. And she says, are you the one girl that handles the emails in reference to Lucky Cat here, comment she made? And she said, no. Nope. Dante, I'm not. And then my sister earnestly says, I'm not Dante. I'm his sister. Angry face. And then because I've been banned from their subreddit before, she thinks that this is me, even though it's my sister. My sister gets banned. Goodbye, heart hand, which is the thing that we always do, which is kind of funny. These are some comments from our TikTok. Nicole explains that the bystander effect may be at play with how people are responding to this. And then someone asks if we're dating. This makes more sense now. You don't say, man.
No worries, lol. I personally wouldn't either. Nervous laugh emoji. But I support everyone and their ventures, especially for good monies. All about the grind. I literally cannot read this anymore, but he asks him again if he wants to do the OnlyFans.
What's up, hammerheads? Caleb's out here reporting my account for making videos, sharing stuff that, you know, isn't necessarily private at all. It's all on the internet. I just kind of found it. My account suddenly disappears because, you know, Caleb took a page out of Roger's book and reported all my videos. This is where I'll be posting all the Caleb content.
Attention, everyone doing bad things online or in real life. Stop doing the bad things, or someone, me, might talk about them.
Apparently he's got a girlfriend.
Caleb and his internet girlfriend broke up. It's art. It's satire. This is satire, right? Satire. Art. It's a joke.
Art and satire.
Art and satire.
I think the Tucker Carlson Putin interview is a really good thing to talk about. Not maybe not a good thing to talk about optically, but like I think it's a good example because I think it's not an ethereal ethics conversation. It's a grounded thing.
So the other person had an image of a 16-year-old. Sorry, I had to burp. Caleb took a screenshot of it, and then this other guy called him out in the group chat. He's like, "Why are you taking a picture of my 16-year-old friend?" Sorry, I had to burp. Caleb responds with, "He's hot," or "He hot, is gay, please." Is that what happened?
Yes, that's correct.
Says the guy living with, not gonna read that. Yep, not gonna read that either. And I said, damn, you're really harassing me. This isn't harassment, read a book.
Now this is harassment. Me having your YouTube and socials mass reported. My people, the wheels are in motion. You won't miss 1K subs. You can actually have time to go touch grass. It'll be good for you. Is this grass? No, it's not grass. No, it's not grass. Is that? No, it's not grass. Ow. Okay, that's a rock. That's a rock. That's not grass. Is that grass? Oh my god. Is this grass? No, oh, fuck me. That's not grass. And then I didn't respond again because, again, I'm busy.
Found Caleb's burner. And when I say Caleb's burner, I mean anybody associated with the Caleb Hammer Industrial Complex. Now you have... you botted my main TikTok account. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have that account be private for a little while. The thing that you don't understand about TikTok is that it's not like you post something one time and people find it. No, you post it once and some people see it. And then you have to post the same exact thing again. Right? So I am going to be saying Caleb Hammer like 16-year-old boys from the fucking rooftops on 100 accounts.
Hey, so you got no more Dante last night, now you get no more Nicole. That's what Caleb wants, but he doesn't want this. He doesn't want us in stealth mode.
Okay, I thought allegedly Caleb and team maybe spent like $5-10 to send all the like botted views to our main TikTok. But we looked it up and like there's no way they didn't drop thousands of dollars.
Hey Chris, let's do a breathing exercise. Look me in the eyes right now. Let's take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. All right, Chris, tell me what's going on. Why are you defending Caleb Hammer on?
Understanding is that people privately pay to watch the interviews live.
If you have a platform where you're giving people financial advice who really, really, really need financial advice, you shouldn't what am I looking to say? You shouldn't have a private Discord server where you're having people pay to watch the people get humiliated live. Some days I like to just sit around and watch my girlfriend make art. Has anybody checked Caleb Hammer's hard drive? I think there might be a hard drive somewhere. I don't know what's on the hard drive, but somebody should check his hard drive.
You a pedophile. You a pedophile.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Caleb Hammer's burner, 1 of 100. He's commenting on everything I make. He's got so many burners. 0 following, 0 followers, no picture. It's a bot, fake account. Caleb, stop. Guys, I'm doing it. I'm making it on the internet. People are clout chasing me. Look, it's so awesome. Someone made a 30-minute video. To any like normal person who watches this, it makes me look really good. They show my funniest content. This guy right here getting 80 views a video. That's my picture. He doesn't mention me one time in the video. This is literally the definition of clout chasing. This is a crazy thing to say. Less valuable? These are the types of people that we're dealing with, and now they're trying to chase me. They're trying to chase my clout. Come on, every single accusation is a confession, dude.
And the stuff that you guys are doing, let's
be real. You guys are whistleblowers, and you guys are going after people that are doing wrong things and bad things. That always comes with some kind of negative response to you, generally first. Then when it breaks, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
my God.
we were Reddit.
Wow, what an exciting day. No one has ever asked me for more Caleb Hammer content.
Caleb, we agree. You gotta stop, right? I'm done with this shit. I really gotta go do something else. But Caleb, fucking knock it off.